Om Namo Venkatesaya. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavathanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashanteye Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanideye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. Smarana Matrena Janma Samsara Bandhanat Vimuchate Namastasmi Vishnave Prabha Vishnave Lakshmi Nata Samarambam Nate Amana Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Partaya Pradibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandatami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Namo Venkatesaya. My pranams everybody. So we have been looking at chapter 9 of the Bhagavad Gita, where Bhagavan talks about the Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yogam. So we saw that the famous sloka Ananya Chintayantomam Vejana Paripasite Tesham Nitya Bhiktanam Yogachemam. Bhagavan says, whosoever thinks of me always, for them I take care of their yoga and shema, that is giving them whatever is required and also protecting them. Then we also went on to the next sloka, where the people who worship the other devatas, Sanya devatas with Shraddha and Bhakti, they also worship me only, but Avidhi Purvakam. That means they are not doing it in a proper way. That's what Bhagavan said. Let's move on to sloka number 24.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaste.
Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha natu mam abhijananti tatvena tasya vantite.
Aham chi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhurevacha. So aham, Bhagavan says, Krishna says, yes, I am the sarva yajnanam, all the various yaga yajnas that are being performed. Bhokta, bhokta means I am the enjoy. One Bhuj root, the Bhuj root, one meaning of Bhuj root is to enjoy. That means whatever oblations that are being performed in various yajnas, it could be in honor of Indra, Varuna, whatever be the yajnas, because yajno vai Vishnu, that's what Vedas say. That means yajna himself is Mahavishnu. So I am the enjoyer. That means whatever oblations that are being offered in these various yajnas, or I am the enjoyer of that. Prabhu Revacha. So I am the Lord of all these various yaga yajnas also. Whichever deity you propitiate and then do the yajna, ultimately they only reach me. Similar thing what Bhagavan said in the previous sloka. Sarvadeva Namaskaraha Kesavam Pratigachin. So that means I am the enjoyer as well as the Lord of these various yaga yajnas that are being performed. That is, in whose honor the yajna is being performed, I am the person. Another meaning of Bhokta is also, Bhuj root also means protector. So I am the protector of these various yajnas. So if somebody makes a resolve to perform an yajna, Bhagavan makes sure that he completes that yajnas. For example, in this Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a story of the Daksha Prajapati, where he didn't invite Parameshwara, and therefore Parameshwara sent his disciple, his one of his Bhutaganas, and then he Veerabhadra, then he destroyed the entire yajna. Ultimately, then Bhagavan came into the scene and made sure that that yajna is completed. So that means he's protecting this various. Make sure if somebody makes a resolve, I want to perform this yajna, Bhagavan supports that person and make sure that the yajna is complete. So ahambi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhurevacha. A person who doesn't know me like this, what happens to him? Natu mam na abhijanati. So a person who doesn't understand me like this, a person doesn't understand that I am the enjoyer as well as the Lord of all these various yajnas, tatvena, in true sense. Tattva means the truth. So one doesn't understand the truth that I am the Lord as well as the enjoyer of these various yajnas. What happens to that? Ataha shavanti. That means ataha means therefore what happens? Shavanti. Shavanti means he completely falls down. That's why Bhagavan's name is Achyuta. No? You find that one of the names is Achyuta. Achyuta means to fall. Achyuta means who never falls down. So that's why his name is called as Achyuta. Not only that, he protects the people. His devotees also, he never lets them fall down. Achyuta. That's another meaning of that. For example, the same example in this Arjuna, when he wanted to run away from the battlefield and he did not want to perform his dharma, Bhagavan made sure that he completely understands, and then finally he fought the battle. And that's why he's called as Achyuta. So Chavanti means that person falls off. So Bhagavan says, for all the yajnas that are being performed, I am the enjoyer, protector, as well as the Lord of these various yaga yajnas. A person who doesn't understand this truth, that person falls down. That's what Bhagavan says. So if Bhagavan says, I am the supreme commander of everything, so a person should know. But if he doesn't understand that, then that person is not on the right path of spiritual illumination. That's what it is. Move on to the next sloka, 25.
Yanti devavrata devan pitrunyanti pitruvrataha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhyajinopi mam.
So he's saying people worship different gods. What happens to them? Devavrata, a person who is resolving and then is worshipping the Devatas, he goes to Devan, Yanti Devan, he goes to the Devalokas. A person who worships Indra goes to Indra Loka, Varuna goes to Chandra Loka. So whosoever the person who worships, he goes to that person's Loka. Pitrunyanti Pituvrata. Similarly, people worship their ancestors, Pituvrataha. That means all their ancestors, they perform these various shraddhas and then all this, Pitru karmas, and are very much devoted to their Pitrus ancestors. They go to the Pitrulokas. Pitrunyanti Pituvrataha. Bhutani yanti bhutejya. That means people, all these tamasic kind of people who do this black magic, who worship this Bhuta, Peta, Pisachaha, all those things, those people who worship those kind of things, tamasic culture and all those things, those people go to they go to this Pisachas and, the Bhutas and all those things. Madhya Jino Apimam, that means a person who, Yajinaha, that means a person who worships me, my devotees come to me only. So that means very logical. A person who worships a particular deity goes to that particular deity. A person who worships me comes to me. That's why Bhagavan says, in all other places, whether he goes to Devaloka or Pitraloka or this Bhutaloka, there is always a comeback. There is no question of, they are not coming back. Once their various punya karmas or this whatever is completed, they have to come back to this world. They can't remain permanently, or there's no question of, they're not coming back to this world. Whereas the person who reaches the Bhagavan's Loka, there is no question of coming back. So that means Nachapuna Ravartate. So that person never comes back into this world. And that is the advantage of worshipping Bhagavan. Therefore, we all get to the moksha and never come back to this world of this sorrow. That's what it is. So this is the next question. Then how does a person worship Bhagavan? So that's what he's talking in the next sloka, 26.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyuprahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha.
This is one of the important, beautiful slokas. Bhagavan says, Patram means leaf, Pushpam means flower, Phalam means fruit, Toyam means a drop of water. Toyam means just a drop of water. Yaha, that person may, to me, Bhaktya Prechi, he gives it to me with love and affection, Bhaktya. Each one has got an episode. Let's look at each one of them. Patram means leaf. Now, when this Devatas, this Pandavas, when they were in exile, the Surya Bhagavan gave them an Akshaya Patra. Akshaya Patra is that is they got a vessel that will provide them whatever food that is required for them for the whole day, including if they have any guests or anything, it will provide as much food that is required by the guests. Once it is washed and then kept, inside this kitchen, then they won't generate any food for that whole day. Only from the next day only it can generate food. So this is the food they had, this Akshaya Patra, while they were in exile, because the sun god was pleased with them and they gave it to him. So one day, Duryodhana invited Durvasa Maharishi to his palace when the Pandavas are in exile. So he gave them good feast and all those things. Durvasa was so happy with that. Duryodhana, you're such a great person. You called me and then given me this bhiksha. I'm so happy. Tell me what is the boon that you want to have. Normally, Durvasa is very, very, very angry person. Even for small things, he will get angry. But this time, he was so happy with Duryodhana. He said, Duryodhana, people call you bad and all those things, but I think you are a very good person. You have invited me and given me this food and all those things. Tell me what is it that you want. So Duryodhana was such a cunning fellow. He said, now, Bhagavan, I'm so happy that you have blessed me and graced this occasion by coming here for bhiksha. What my request is, you have blessed me. Similarly, I want you to bless my cousin brothers Pandavas who are in exile in forest. So you should also go there one day and then take bhiksha from them and also bless them. So I'm so concerned about their welfare, and therefore you should bless them. So that was what the Duryodhana said. Only thing he said, that condition. So then Dharmaputra and all those things, they do a lot of anushtanas and then pujas, etc. So go a little around 11:30 or 12 noon, because I know you should not be a disturbance to their daily routines and all those things. He said, okay, now that you have told me that, I'll go there. So one day he goes to this Pandava's place, Yudhishthira. At that time, they already completed having their food, and then the vessel has been cleaned and then kept upside down in that kitchen. So Durvasa comes there around 11:30, 11:45. Then the Yudhishthira then invites him this padam, argument, all those things. Then he said, you should partake food with us. That's what he said. Then Durvasa said, I have not taken bath. I'll go to the nearby river. So I'll take bath and come back. So he went along with this, he came with about hundreds of Sishyas, disciples. Then immediately Draupadi called Yudhishthira and said that, no, now that we've taken the food and kept this Akshay Patra upside down, then we can't generate any food at all. What can you do? It's too, we don't have sufficient time to go to the forest and pick up, a lot of fruits and, all those things for these people. What to do? So Yudhishthira was also did not think about that. Then he also said, I know what to do. So then they thought about Krishna Paramatma. Immediately Krishna Paramatma came to that scene. He said, Draupadi, I happened to pass through this way. I thought I'll just meet all of you and go. So then he said, you seem to be very much worried. What is the problem? He said, then there is reported this matter of, Durvasa Maharshi has come and we don't have sufficient food to, offer them. What to do? Then he said, Draupadi, you bring that vessel, that the Akshay Patra. He said, I already cleaned it and kept it, in this kitchen. Doesn't matter. Bring that this vessel. So the vessel was brought, and they found that a small, some portion of the spinach green was sticking onto that particular vessel. So Bhagavan took that, that patram, that is that leaf, and then consumed it and said, Triptosmi. That means he said, I'm so happy with this food that has been given. Immediately the entire world, because Bhagavan is, is all pervading. Once his tummy was fulfilled, all the people in the universe got fulfilled. That their stomach was completely filled with food. So when this Durvasa and their Sishyas were taking bath, suddenly they felt that, they were completely filled with all this, the tummy was full with food and all those things. Then they wondered, no, we should not go back to, Yudhishthira, you'll offer us so much of food. We can't consume that food and then you will get upset. So they went back without coming to this place. So Patram, so that this particular leaf was offered, and therefore Bhagavan took it with took it, and then that is one meaning of Patra. There's another story also about Patra. Patra also refers to the Tulasi leaf. When you offer Tulasi leaves to Bhagavan, Bhagavan is so happy. There is another episode in Krishna Charitra. Satyabhama was always jealous that Krishna is being shared by all these 16,108, 16,107 wives of Krishna. So he wanted to have Krishna exclusively to herself. So one day when Narada Maharshi came, she opened the topic and said, Krishna is there in all the places, Then Narada Maharshi says, he is there, but he is also with you. So he is a yoga purusha. He can be there in any place. Why are you worried about it? No, I want Krishna exclusively to me. That's what he said. Again, Maharshi gave me some idea. So Maharshi said that you can do it provided you buy Krishna from all the, buy out completely Krishna. How do I do that? He said, first you offer Krishna's dhanam to me. Then you buy from me Krishna, I'll sell Krishna to you. He said, fine, that's okay. So then what they said was, he gave dhana to Krishna Paramatma, was watching all these things. He knew what was going on. And therefore he said he wanted to, teach a lesson to this Satyabhama. So he said, okay, whatever you say, I'll agree. So then Krishna was given as a dhana to Narada Maharshi. And Narada Maharshi immediately said that you can take Krishna, provided you give me equivalent to the weight of Krishna in a balance, some gold or something like that. So then Krishna was on one side of the balance. She's put all 1,000 kgs and kgs of gold, but the Krishna's thing never moved at all. It was always lying down. However much she put, she didn't know what to do. So then she called everybody. Everybody put their gold, everything, jewelry. Nothing happened. Then the message was sent to Rukmini Devi. So Rukmini Devi said, how can Krishna Paramatma be equal to anything else? There is nothing. Matta Parataram Nanyati. That means there is nobody equal to him or above him. So what do we do? So she came out, took a Tulasi leaf, then circumambulated Krishna Paramatma and put it on one of these the balance, and then immediately the balance started balancing with Tulasi leaf, because she offered it with the devotion, bhaktya. So that is Patram. Pushpam refers to the episode of this Gajendra. So Bhagavan, every day, there is a king called Indradyumna who was in the Pandya kingdom. He was a great devotee of Hari. So one day he was in Dhyanam. At that time, Agastya Maharshi happened to pass through that way. But then since he was in Dhyanam, he didn't notice him. Then Agastya Maharshi got so much upset. He said, I'm passing through your capital, and you're not even giving me this, the usual, the upacharas and all those things. So you are such a haughty person. So may you become an elephant in the next birth. That's what he cursed him. Now a question arises in all our minds, he was only doing a dhyanam Bhagavan, why should he be cursed? Actually, all the curses are only blessings in disguise. On the face of it, it may look a curse, but it is a blessing, because this Pandya king Indradyumna had a kind of a tamasic tendency in his mind that was preventing him from reaching the moksha. The best way of exhausting the tamasic tendency is only taking the body of an elephant. So that was what Agastya Maharshi has blessed him with, giving this. And therefore, in the next birth, of course, he got the moksha as such. So in the next birth, he was born as the Gajendra, the king of the elephants. He was in Trikuta, where since he had the great punya karmas in the past life, he became the king. He was got so much of elephants attending on him and so on. But because of his previous vasanas, he had the opportunity of worshipping the Lord. Every day he used to take a lotus flower from a pond and then offer it to Bhagavan as such in a temple over there. So he was doing that regularly. So one day when he was taking that, we went into the pond, there was a crocodile which caught hold of his feet. So of course, all of you know this story. Only some two important aspects of the story I'll just highlight. So when he got this, when this crocodile was caught this elephant's leg, he started trying to extricate himself from that. Then the crocodile was pulling him towards water, where it was more powerful. It happened for so many. In fact, Bhagavatam says the whole fight took place for 1,000 years, because in those days the longevity was high. That was in Krita Yuga. So then all his relatives and friends started pulling him from the other side, but thousands of years, but they could not succeed. And finally, like all our human beings, we take our efforts. Finally, if our efforts don't succeed, then we think about Bhagavan. So similarly, this Gajendra thought about Bhagavan, and then he said that, then he gave that Gajendra Stuti, is a famous sloka in Gajendra Stuti in Srimad Bhagavatam. He addressed it to Bhagavan as a Nirguna Brahman. So when he was addressed to Nirguna Brahman, all other devatas thought that it was not addressed to him. Bhagavan Hari knew that it was addressed to him. And then immediately he came on to this, to his rescue. The message is that when you're in a problem, most of the relatives will not be able to help you. Only Bhagavan can only help you. That's the message. Then when he comes here, even then Bhagavan immediately, as soon as he heard the noise of this Gajendra, he immediately rushed. In fact, Bhagavatam says he's Gatotariya, that means his Uttariyam, that means his upper garment was in complete disarray, but he didn't even bother about it. And then he was asking Garuda to go even faster. So he wanted to come to this devotee. He comes to the place, and then he uses his Chakrayuda and then kills the what you call this crocodile. The crocodile himself was a Gandharva by name Huhu, who because of some some play, he was doing some when the rishis are taking bath, he was just going there and pulling their legs and all those things. Therefore, they cursed him, let you become a crocodile. So that is what he had that curse, and because of the Chakrayuda, he got completely released of this chair. The question is, the prayer was given by Bhagavan, by this devotee, but then how did this crocodile got vimochana? Because he caught hold of the feet of the Bhagavata. Bhagavata is that Gajendra. So when Bhagavan helps the Bhagavata, the person who helps Bhagavata first, then the Bhagavata himself. That's why the Alva is Tondar Adipodi Alva. That means if you are the servant of the Lord, Bhagavan considers to be much greater than the servant himself. That's what is the message contained in this. And again, then of course he released this Gajendra and then took the flower from him. Bhagavan said, okay, I didn't want you to stop your routine of offering the flower to me with love. You used to do that. And that's why he says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. We'll continue the discussion because there are two more stories with respect to Phalam and Toyam. But the most important thing, underline the word Bhaktya. So Bhagavan doesn't look at what is being offered, whether you offer a tulsi leaf, whether you offer a flower, whether you offer a fruit. If not anything else, even a drop of water. Toyam is Bhagavan says, I don't need any, what you call very extravagant, Naivedyam and all those things. Of course, if you can do it, nothing like it. But then I'm not looking at the kind of food that is being offered. But what I look at is Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Underline the word Bhaktya. What is with whatever is being offered with love and affection is what Bhagavan is looking at. So we'll continue the discussion on this sloka tomorrow. Vasutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu Krishna 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 Krishna.